This here is the Graves Cabmate. It is a machine that you're probably not familiar with. I was only slightly familiar with it when I saw this on the used machine table at the Hellgate Mineral Society's show, and well, it was $50, so I bought it. And all I've done to it so far is I've cleaned it up. I've done some research into this thing, which I'll share with you. It is, to say the least, an interesting machine. After wiping all the dust off of this one appears to be missing a couple of things, and it also appears to be brand new, which is impressive. It is impressive. The Graves company is no longer a company anymore, but you might know them from the Graves faceting machine. This in particular model right here does have a preformer, which we'll talk about, but I had to make a list of all of the accessories and different things that you could do with this machine. So, this machine, which is one wheel, had a saw attachment. Mine right here has a particle board base, but you could get it with a plastic base. The preformer, which I have, you could get it with a preformer motor as well. A bezel table so that you could back bezel cabochons, star cups. So this would be for like your star garnets. You want a perfect high dome on it. You could automatically do that, if you will. It had a carving chuck, and you could get a cam set for it. So, impressive that this little machine, you could do so many different things with it. So my goal is to, well, I guess get $50 of fun out of it and see if it is a machine worthy of earning a place here on my bench. Let's look at this thing in depth. I'll show you what's up with it. It's pretty interesting. And yeah, we'll do some work on it today. The design is pretty simple. We have a motor back here. This cover, which we'll take off here, has a belt behind it. We have a cast aluminum housing. And then we have a, well, it is a lamp wick. A lamp wick as a belt wiper. We have our preformer. We have a plastic tray. This lets the water out. And then, of course, we have our lamp. I think the person that bought this got it with the intention of using it and never actually used it. The wheel is perfect. Every single thing, there's like no scrapes or dinks or dents or whatever. If you're running silicon carbide, like a hard silicon carbide wheel, there will be, there will be like all kinds of debris and stuff caught on the inside here, and there is nothing. It is absolutely pristine in there. And since it's absolutely pristine in there, well, I think all of the dirt and dust that has accumulated has been, well, from adjacent machines and not this machine. The motor is interesting. We have a 2-speed General Electric motor, and it basically, well, it's a 1/18 to 1/6 horsepower motor. We have a low speed and a high speed, and the high speed is 1725 RPM, and the low speed is 1140 RPM. So we'll fire this up. Works pretty well. That's the low. That's the high. The way this preformer works is we have this removable dop right here. This is the same as one of the Graves like faceting machine dops. And we have a little housing right here, and it could rotate, right? We rotate this larger wheel right here, and this white wheel comes up into contact with this brass pad, and in theory, let's say you were stopping out here, you would just let the thing grind, and we turn in contact here, and whatever this white cam shape is would get ground into the stone. Purely based on the appearance of this thing, mostly the particle board base with like the fake wood furniture finish, and this clear plastic, which is kind of, I mean, it's acrylic, but it's got that like orange peel texture on it, kind of like what you would have from like a, I don't know, a Pizza Hut drink cup. I'm going to say this thing's probably from the 90s. So we got a couple of die cast pulleys here, a belt that like, well, you can see here, right? So this belt sat in that position. I guess, wait, it sat in that position for a very long time, and we can see that because we have a thick layer of dust up here and a thinner layer of dust right here. And you can see as I turn this, well, here comes the clean portion. Oh, that's funny. That is too funny that it's that old. But we can get a new belt for this, which would be a wise move. That's kind of aged, and yeah, I like a new belt. It's a little dirty in there. In my bin of belts, I just so happen to have enough small power twist to replace this guy. Now, power twist belts, they are the way, people. Like, you know, yeah, they are the method in which you want to. I'm just tightening these guys a little bit. Yep, that's good. Power twist belts on machines lessen vibration an incredible amount, and it's something that you really need to do on machines if you want them to be nice and buttery smooth, which I definitely want them to be nice and buttery smooth. And it also very often, well, it saves me a trip to the store and having to try to hunt down belts. One thing that I always take into consideration when, you know, machine shopping or just looking at stuff like this is, can I get my money out of it? What does that look like? You know, in this case, well, that is very oily. In this case, I definitely think I could get my money out of this guy. You know, if I paid $50 for it, well, you can't even buy the motor for $50. So, you know, pretty good. Let's look at this wheel here. Oh, does the preformer have to come off? I guess the preformer has to come off. Just held on with a couple of relatively large flathead screws here. One thing that's nice about this machine is just the amount of attachments, right? Like, they developed this from the get-go with this kind of like concept that they're gonna have accessories, which isn't something you see anymore. So yeah, there's the preformer. Pretty cool. And get this wheel off. Come on. There we go. Look at that. A brand spanking new Norton disc. Yeah, this looks entirely new on the inside here. If that doesn't just look about as clean as something can be, we got dust. Nothing else, nothing else. One thing you can see here is the arbor is actually internally threaded as well, so that you can put other attachments on it. Like, I believe they had like one of those spindles for like a buffing wheel. You can also see these two holes, and those, there's some images online of this thing with a spray shield, like a plastic shield, which makes a ton of sense. If I was to just run this silicon carbide wheel, well, first off, we're going to get silicon carbide dust all around. Second, I think we're going to get water all over the place. But I want to at least try this thing today. We'll end up using this silicon carbide wheel at least once because, well, why not? What am I going to do with it otherwise? See how the belt runs plugged in. the amount of slack you want is, yeah, that's a pretty good amount of slack. That's about right, about what you want. That's looking pretty good. All right, so that's the low. All of the feet are split from time. Can I even just, maybe I might even be able to just pop that off. Yeah. So I'll run to the store and I'll grab a couple of new feet for this guy because I don't like that. You can see it's been slid around some. Man, I'm just impressed with the quality of this. Like, you know, let's just ballpark it and say that we are mid-90s. I mean, this thing is in fantastic condition if that's the case. So we'll tighten up everything down here, make sure it's looking good. It's a little funny that after all this time you can still just go down to the hardware store and buy these like white feet that are on, well, they've been on everything forever, it seems like. This is probably where this machine's going to live. I think I'd be a little foolish to get rid of it when I could have probably a lot of fun with it and probably never find another one of these ever again, let alone one for $50. Now I know I might be speaking a little early here. I have not used it, but we've got to get some water to this thing. You can see this is an old like kerosene lamp wick that they have clamped on here. Be like the blade wiper. Was that like some old masking tape? So I'm kind of thinking we jerry rig a little bit of water system action here, since we don't have a cup, which that would be ideal just to have the cup, right? Like that'd be the best, but don't have the cup. I have PEX ran all throughout my shop. If you didn't see the shop build video. And I go to Lockline hubs, which this is Lockline, which is a flexible line. And that's what I was intending on using because, you know, this stuff's fantastic. I love this stuff. You know, we can snap it together and make like an infinite length that we need, but I don't exactly have enough to get over here. This is all of the Lockline that I have right now, which I thought I had a lot more, but this is not enough to get to where we need to go. So I ordered some, but let's try to still do something with this. Underneath this little bracket here, there's a wing nut, and we can move the whole preformer. And I think the way to adjust this is to put something like I got a square here, and we're just gonna kind of bring our preformer up to that, and that'll get us pretty close. Let's hold it there. So now, in theory, if we have a stone on our dop, we'll be able to turn it and get that exact same shape. This is just going to be a test stone. It does not have to be perfect by any stretch, but more than anything, it's just to see what it would look like. I guess we got to mark the center. That would probably be helpful. So then we can glue this on, and we'll kind of rough this out, and it should work. I think I'm just going to try it. Since I don't have a nice way of applying water, I'm just going to use the spray bottle, and we're going to just try it. That's our, that's making quite the wet mess. So I got kind of a rag back here that would mimic the shield. That came out really, really good. So I have my perfect circle here. There are a number of things that I can improve upon. Like I said, I already got the water line ordered. It's been a long time since I've used one of these silicon carbide wheels, and I remember why I don't like it. And that is, well, it gets grooves in it, you have to dress it, and realistically, it's just slow. It puts silicon carbide all in your machine and stuff. Far from ideal. So I think a diamond wheel will be coming. Maybe a couple more of the DOPs for this so that I can have more than one thing going at a time. Spray shields. As you saw, I was using that rag. This thing, it needs some spray shields, you know. That should be an easy thing for me to draw up and print. So probably do that. In the meantime, if you have an extra cup for a Graves machine, I would love to have it. Even though I'm probably not going to be using it as opposed to my waterline system, I think it would be make it look complete. And I love these old vintage machines. I want them to be pristine for as long as they can. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. I think it's fun. I have some questions, I guess, like how complex of a shape can I make with a preformer? I think that would be interesting to find out. And man, some of the accessories seem cool as well. Some different things, but yeah, we gotta get a better wheel. We gotta get a better wheel. So yeah, there's the first look at the Graves Cabmate. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate the input as always, and I will catch you on the next video.